Good afternoon everyone, welcome to Barbara Young Breakfast here at ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. My name is Claire, I'm the presenter here at the zoo, and over the next few minutes I'll be telling you all about the incredible animals that we're going to be seeing on our journey today. Now whilst the trainers are working, please do remain seated, don't stand up, keep all your limbs and children inside the carriages as we will be going through some open enclosures and don't want to lose anything or anyone. So the first thing we'll see is over on the left hand side of our children's farm. And over here we've got lots of small animals, lots of big animals as well. From rabbits to guinea pigs to our Welsh mountain pony cat, who is the oldest member of the farm. He's 34 years old, so do look out for a white pony in the back paddock. Now joining us today we do have our gigantic pocky donkey, Parker and Hyder. They are the largest type of donkey in the world. And they are so fancy they even have a last name. If I can remind everyone to please remain seated. So they are absolutely huge, they are brother and sister, and they're called Parker and Hyder the Apollo. Now we also have our magic face sheep with lots and lots of laughs. They're called magic face sheep because of the markings on their face, having stripes along their eyes. We also have our llamas and alpacas, who look very, very similar, but an easy way to tell the difference is with their size. So llamas tend to be much, much smaller. And next on the left hand side, just before the road, we have our Darwin ears. Now these look a bit like a small emu. They are flightless, they cannot fly, but they can run at 40 miles per hour. So really, really fast. Thank you. So we do have a boy and a girl here, and we are hoping for them to breed sometime in the future. Now if they do, what they'll do is kick an egg out of the nest so it cracks on the ground, not because they're bad parents, but because they want it to go rotten and attract lots and lots of flies. And then that makes a nice easy meal when the chicks then hatch. So that noises me we're now entering the train yard, which is a very important part of our journey. We have our big pile of Welsh coal on the left hand side. We can get through about 25 buckets on a really busy day. Today we are being pulled along by Excelsior Superior, sorry. Now she is one of our bigger engines. She's 616.5 tons and she is going to be 96 years old this year. Now our driver and fireman, we have Martin and Mac. Now if they turn around, do give them a massive wave as they have to work incredibly hard. Not only do they keep the trains running, keep them looking beautiful in good working condition, but they also have to get up very early in the morning because our engines can take 3 hours to warm up in the morning. Because of this we do have some other engines as well, so do look over to the left hand side for our blue and yellow diesel engines. And these guys only take 3 minutes to warm up, so they're really useful for shunting things around the train yard and moving things around. And we have Sergeant Blast just coming up on the left here. Now past Sergeant Blast we have what looks to be a very empty field, but there's actually loads going on over there. Here at ZSL Whipsnade Zoo we are part of the Zoological Society of London. We're a conservation charity working in over 50 countries worldwide, including right here at Whipsnade Zoo. And in these back paddocks we're doing some vital conservation work. So we're working with the RSPB. We're breeding a very rare British bird called the corncrake, and in the last year alone we have released 100 of these birds out into the wild. Now we are entering the land of the free roamers, so please do remain seated and keep a lookout on either side for some of our Bennett wallabies. We have some babies at the moment in their pouches, so do keep an eye on those bellies. Now on the left we have something a bit bigger. We have our Asian elephant. Don't worry if you're on the right hand side, we have more coming up for you very, very shortly. So these are a few of our group. We have 2 of our younger boys, George and Scott, and we also have 2 of our females as well. We have Maya and Luca. Now these are Asian elephants, very different to the African elephant. If you look at their faces, the females will not grow big tusks, they'll only grow smaller versions, whereas the males are the ones that grow the really, really big tusks. They also have much smaller ears in comparison with their body size than the African elephant as well. Not only that, but these elephants are really, really hairy. The African elephant is nowhere near as hairy, and that's because these guys are actually more closely related to the woolly mammoth than they are to the African elephant. On the right hand side we have our sand paddock where we keep our elephants in the winter. So our elephants do actually walk on their tiptoes. So if they're walking around in the muddy fields they're likely to slip over and fall. So we put them in these paddocks over winter so they're nice and comfy. We are building them a brand new home at the moment so they have even more room to move around. And we can also tell you a little bit more about the amazing work that is done in the wild with these animals as well. So on the left we have a pheasant wandering along there. And we also have our yak. Now these guys are incredibly strong. They help Sherpas carry heavy things up mountains. And it must be quite warm today because they do wear two coats. They have a really long coat up top to keep them dry and a much shorter coat underneath to keep them nice and warm. Now on the right hand side we have our big male elephant coming up. His name is Emmett, but I can remind you please to remain seated as we are still in motion. So he is very obviously male with an incredible tusk. And he is kept separate from the rest of the herd. Now that might seem really mean, but it's for a very good reason. Asian elephants and males are very solitary. They will spend most of their time on their own, so he wouldn't actually want to spend time with the ladies and has his own paddock as well instead. The females and the youngsters will be the ones that move around the herds together, roaming around together. Now over in the other paddock you can see one of our younger elephants right at the back there. His name is Sam, he's the smallest elephant you can see. And he is about 2 years old now, so doing really well. On the left hand side we have our paired rabbit deer all just sitting down there. We also have one of the rarest animals in the zoo. We have our Bactrian camels. There are less than 1,000 of these guys left in the wild. And we can see a few babies as well. So we have Pierre and Pepper who are just a few weeks old. We also have Olaf and Orla who are a year old. And we have Nabis as well who is 2 years old. Now the adult camels have very shaggy fur at the moment. That's because they are shedding their fur for the warmest summer season. On the right hand side we are entering the swamps of Asia with our Asian one-horned rhinos.
James, look.
Now we have 4 Asian rhinos here, which they do. We have 2 females called Behan and Maluki. We have a male called Hugo. And we also have a new arrival called Bali, who was born at the end of last year. Now he'll be over on the other side of the bridge in their other paddock, so do go over and see if you can spot him later on. He's really playful and really cute as well. Now our rhinos, their paddock does look really rather messy. Very swampy, they like it that way. They live out in the swamps in the wild and that mud is really good for their skin. It helps keep it nice and healthy, especially in the really hot summer months where it protects them from getting sunburned. That skin is really important to them as well. It's 6 centimetres thick and helps them when there's lots of biting insects around and also from fights with other rhinos. So if you keep a look out on either side you might see some of our marron. Now you've probably seen these guys all over the zoo today. We have lots of them, they're one of our many free roamers around the zoo. And you'll often see them travelling in pairs. Now they're the 4th largest rodent in the world. They'll mate for life once they found themselves a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And they also have a really peculiar way of protecting themselves. So you might think they look very cute, you might want to chase them and try and stroke them. But do be warned. I hope you would have a spare change of clothes because they are able to weave backwards 2 metres at child head height. Now in a few moments we will be crossing over our Ha-Ha Bridge into the deer park. We've got over 200 individual deer and antelope in here and lots of different species as well. There are always lots and lots to see. And do look out for a few babies as well. It is baby season, so there will be lots of fawns around, so do have a look in the grass if you can see any hiding away sitting down on the ground. Lots of deer will hide their young in long grass, cleaning them so they don't smell and attract predators, and leave them and go and graze elsewhere to not draw attention to them. Others might keep them close by with them and keep an eye on them as well. Now the really, really big golden brown deer you see are called swamp deer. They have specialised hooves that spread out as they walk, so that they don't sink into all the swampy, boggy ground. We are still in motion as well, so these remain seated. We also have our fallow deer with those lovely pale bellies. And now these guys are native to the Mediterranean, but they're brought over here by the Romans. And as we no longer have any large predators like bears, lynx or wolves, they're doing incredibly well. Now on the right hand side we have a very, very cool horse. Now this is a Shivalski horse. They're the last known species of truly wild horse. They've never been ridden or tamed. Now at the turn of the century there were only thought to be 12 of them left in the entire world. Those 12 were taken into captivity, while other places being fragged who did a brilliant job of breeding them and released them back out into the wild. And as you can see, they're flying down near the fence there. We do have a new arrival having a little sleep. So he's doing really, really, really well. Now these horses, we do have a breeding program with them, and we have released one of our mares called Priscilla back out into the wild. And that is no small feat. It does require a 30-hour commute through the Gobi Desert and a lot of help from the Czech army as well. So it's even better news that we can still track her to this day, and she seems to be doing really, really well. Now you might have seen lots of other free roamers around the zoo today. We've got our wallabies, we've got our mama, and we've also got some deer as well. So do keep your eyes peeled as you go around the zoo. You never know who you might be walking past. But next, on the right hand side, we have our sloth bear enclosure. Now these guys are really rather special. Do look out for big black ball or sloth. Looks like they might be hiding from us today, but we did meet them at 3:30 to do join us for that talk. So we give them lots of food, which is really, really good to see, because these guys have a very special way of eating. They don't have any front teeth, so they'll use their big claws to break into concrete from termite mouths, and then they slurp up all their food through that gap in their teeth, just like we might slurp up spaghetti, and that can be very, very noisy. And in fact, you can hear them about 2 miles away. So if you do manage to see them eating later, do listen out and see if you can hear them. So in a few moments we'll be going through our very exciting tunnel. Do keep all your heads and hands inside the carriages, and it comes very close to the side of the train. And it can get a little smoky in here as well. So I do have a challenge for you. See if you can hold your breath all the way to the other end. Myself
back where we started. Well done, boys. Is that good?
Oh, good work.